Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Bwaaa, King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Rusty, we are all the way, season 3, episode 24.
Yeah, episode 24.
How many are in this season? 25?
25.
Yeah, 25. So only one more until season 4.
This is the Penis Ultimate, you know what it's called? Or, oh, no, Penultimate, right? Penultimate.
Yeah, Penis
yeah,
Ultimate's a whole different thing.
The Penultimate. Okay.
Yeah, it's behind the beaded curtain. Okay, so this one.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. This one, you get a lot of people in it.
Mm-hmm.
You get callbacks like Budasak, because he ends up working for Strickland or whatever,
Right.
and he ends up being a baseball player for him. You get a little Chuck Mangione.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Kresmer even pops up.
Miss Kresmer pops up? I don't remember that.
Does she?
I don't know.
Oh, this might. Well,
I don't think so.
I don't
think so.
either, yeah.
Unless she's on one of the
No, Miss
teams.
Fibel. That's what I mean.
That's right.
Yeah,
Miss Fibel.
the Waffle House.
Yeah.
Preston
Yeah.
Rogers.
Yeah. All right. So this one, once again, no bell, no yell. We are at a pancake restaurant with Buck and Hank in a booth facing each other. The waitress starts by asking Buck, "You want potatoes with that, Buck?" He said, "You know I do, Miss Fibel, right? Fibel?"
Yeah, we're at the Preston Rogers Waffle Cafe.
Preston Rogers Waffle
that's the
Cafe.
restaurant.
Fantastic.
It's where the Arlen High School football team's booster club meets. They have a private dining room called the Castilian Room. The restaurant is shortly called just the. It's been referred to before, but they just called it just the Waffle House. They didn't give it the full name. But
Who is
its
Preston
name,
Rogers?
Who is Preston Rogers? He's got to be some Texas something.
He says, "You know I do, Miss Fibel. Scattered, smothered, and covered, and Hank will have the same." Hank says, "Actually, I prefer my potatoes diced and chunked." Buck says, "I already ordered for you. Now, listen up. Chamber of Commerce is putting together a co-ed softball league. I want you to play and be head coach." And Hank is like, "Oh, head coach? Like Tom Landry? I'm going to need a moment here, sir." I mean, that really hits Hank hard. You know?
Yeah.
You see Buck just kind of slurping on a straw. He's really going after this milkshake, and you hear from over his shoulder Thatherton standing there with a blonde-haired lady. He goes, "What you got, Buck? Vanilla milkshake? Doctor wants you to put on another 40 pounds." Buck's like, "Get out of here, Thatherton."
Yeah.
Says, "Oh, where are my manners? Allow me to introduce the newest dispatcher at Thatherton Fuels, Miss Rita Bwaaa." So,
Bevacqua.
Baklava.
Baklava.
So I remember when, well, we'll get to it in a second.
Okay. This is a baseball player I've never heard of.
Yes.
So.
Baklava, huh, says Hank. "Is that any relation to former Texas Rangers third baseman Kurt Baklava?" And she goes, "Kurt's my husband by marriage," which that is the weirdest thing to say. He's my husband by marriage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's a joke.
I mean,
yeah, that's a good joke.
And then Kurt Baklava steps into the frame. Thatherton says, "Chamber of Commerce rulebook says immediate family is eligible to play. Husband falls under the category of a immediate family, don't it, boys?" And he says immediate family.
Immediate.
And we just hear Thatherton. Yeah, I remember Kurt Baklava playing for the Texas Rangers. He was I didn't look up a bunch of stuff on him because I didn't think it mattered that much.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk. But I remember him being around, I want to say about the same time as like Jose Canseco and people like that.
The 70s?
No, this would be 80s. But he was a big dude.
Yeah, he was around into the 80s.
He was a power hitter, like a big dude.
He played for the Texans at like 77, 78, I think, according to our friend Artie here. Let's see. Yeah, he played for Texas.
Bwaaa?
Yeah, he played from 71 to 85. He was an infielder, and then he played with the Rangers from 77 to 78.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, just 1 year. Wow, that's crazy. All right, so now we're at Tom Landry Middle School. There's a long line of kids, and they're passing out the yearbooks. And you see Connie standing next to Bobby, and she says, I hope my picture isn't at the edge of the page. Last year it just said Connie Soup. Bobby says, yeah, but I could still tell it was you, even without the Hassanusa phone.
That's funny.
She goes, oh, you're so sweet, Bobby. He goes, I can't help it.
Oh,
Dooley comes up with the yearbook, and he shows it to both of them and goes, you guys are a couple. Connie says, can you believe they put that picture in there? He goes, yeah, can you believe it? And he's real sheepish because, I mean, it's middle school romance.
Yeah, that's all it is, yeah. That's the first time anybody's ever said couple and him thought about it.
Yeah, since they were in the cave, I guess.
Which I think
with
this
Joseph,
episode is the episode where their relationship is kind of went from blossoming to blooming.
Yeah, you see it here in a little bit. So now we're at Peggy's softball game, and Peggy is she's a fast pitch softball player.
A fast pitch softball player, which generally in leagues like this, when you have like company against company and stuff like that, or co-ed leagues, it's usually slow pitch.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's a fast pitch one, and you've got like, if that's the thing is if there was a professional softball, Peggy probably would have been a professional sports player in
she's
that.
Got a rocket for an arm.
She's got an insane arm, and she's right over the home plate. Like she's like before she has her little mind warp, she was just killing them.
She got those big feet too to keep her upright. You know?
Keep her upright.
She ain't going nowhere.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? She can lean real forward. Yeah.
All right, so she is playing for the Lady Giants, which I've never understood why they put lady or women or whatever in front of it. You know, it's like there's a lot of high schools where it'll be like Trojans and Lady Trojans. Well, that's just making them like second class. I always thought that was goofy. But Hank pulls up in the truck as soon as the game's over, and she goes, Hank, what are you doing here? Did Bobby do something to his eye? He goes, oh, no. Strickland Propane is going to have a softball team, and I was named the head coach. She goes, well, congratulations, Hank. My game went well. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, shitty Peggy. He goes, here's the best part. It's a co-ed league with a women must pitch rule, so you'll be pitching for Team Strickland. She says, well, I already pitched for a team, Hank, the Lady Giants. He says, but this is a chance to play in a serious league against men. Okay, Hank, calm down just a little bit. See how you do against batters who can really put some aluminum into the ball. She goes, I am in a serious league, Hank. Of course, you wouldn't know how serious because you never come to one of my games. Well, that is kind of shitty, I guess, that he hasn't come to her games.
No, that is kind of rough.
He says, Peggy.
At least one or two. You don't have to go to every single game, but at least show up for a few of them.
Well, the odd thing is, he goes, Peggy, you know that Tuesday night is my night to drink beer in the alley with the guys. It has been for years. Well, no, Hank, every night is your night. And why are they playing softball on a Tuesday night? That's crazy to me. So next we're in the alley with all four guys, that being Hank, Bill, Dale, and Boomhauer. And Hank's got the coach clipboard, and he's really planning stuff out here. He goes, let's see, I got Enrique at shortstop and Joe Jack in center field. I have to put Mr. Strickland at catcher. It's the only position his cardiologist would clear him to play, and he has to sit on a stool. Yeah,
that's funny.
Bill pipes
There's
up.
no way that he's like catching anything that Peggy's throwing at him sitting on a stool.
No, never. Bill pipes up and says, I wish you could coach my Army softball team, Hank. We don't have any good leaders.
That's
classified. Dale comes in and says, this chamber of commerce league discriminates against the self-employed. I am a one-man extermination corporation. How am I supposed to play? Hank says, those are the rules, Dale. You got to have a Strickland pay stub or be a Strickland wife. He goes, I've sprayed Strickland for termites. I have a pay stub. I'm on the team. He's just so happy to be part of a team.
But technically, he wouldn't be a part of the team because he would have gotten a or as an independent 1099 independent. Yeah, he would have been a 1099. He wouldn't have got a W-2 or nothing.
No.
Yeah. So,
but who's going to step on Dale? Because I mean, the only experience he's had with sports is being a towel boy.
And he does clutch it up.
Yeah,
He clutches it up.
Actually,
So-
he does a fine job without
They're,
him.
they're not bad. Well, you got to remember these guys are all like were athletes in
Yeah.
high school.
Well, with the exception of him.
Well, he was an athlete.
He was a
wasn't
towel boy.
Oh, he was a
He was the
towel
one on the
boy.
sideline,
Yeah,
just
he
woo,
was, yeah.
whipping those towels
Well,
around.
even the towel boy got to have a little athletic
I get it,
ability.
man. I
Well, that's
get
what
it.
the towel boy is. He's the guy who
He's the hype
had
man.
enough athletic ability to
run
be
up
a
and down the
part of the
sideline.
football team, but not enough to be on the team.
Yeah.
He didn't have the athletic ability to go
Yeah.
get beat up, but he could probably run and jump and stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Probably
I
had
have
some
no,
of the
I have no doubt that.
intangibles.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Dale can run and jump because we see him jumping over fields or fences and stuff
Yeah.
all the time whenever he gets scared.
And he's a 40-something-year-old man
Yeah.
too, jumping
Yeah.
fences like
Yeah.
that. He could clear a fence pretty quick.
He's a 40-something-year-old man who smokes like a chimney and breathes hazardous chemicals all the time that can jump a fence.
Multiple fences.
Yeah.
Like one
Yeah,
and then
it's
run
true.
and then another.
It's
and
according,
then
to how,
run.
it's according to how scared he is. But
You know,
yeah,
I think
sure.
I think his body is just like so enhanced by all the chemicals that he's consumed.
He's like a superhero.
He's no longer a man. He is man and
part
machine.
roach, part
Yeah.
rat, part man.
He's become everything. Yeah.
Now we're in front of the pink and white, which I think we have come to realize is Piggly Wiggly. And there's scouts there or arrow girls selling cookies. So this is like the Girl Scouts.
Yeah,
or
Girl
whatever.
Scouts or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and Connie's just like, get your arrow girl cookies. Bobby rolls up and says, hey, Connie, why don't you see me do a ah? And then just knocks into stuff, knocks all the boxes
Yeah. He
over.
was like, did you ever used to do that where you put your foot in your back tire and make your
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what it looked like he was trying to do is like make his bike slide.
Yeah.
There was a time where me and my buddy were riding bikes, and we were a little older. We were like teenagers, and he did that where he'd made his bike
Yeah.
kind of like that. Well, it went sideways and then just flipped. It didn't like
Yeah.
slide the way he wanted it to, and it threw him off, and he broke his collarbone.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they're in front of the pink and white, and they're selling these cookies. Bobby just wrecks into this stack of cookie boxes. One of the arrow girls says, my mom spent 2 hours stacking those boxes. Bobby just pops up. He's got his hands full of cookies.
Got milk because you got cookies.
That's right.
Like,
He goes, got milk? And then there's this huge pregnant pause where nobody says anything. He goes, because you got cookies. Am I right?
yeah, he's trying to hit him with a one-liner.
Yeah. One of the girls says, Connie, tell your boyfriend to go away. He's hurting business. Connie says, just because we're on the couples page doesn't mean he's my boyfriend. And Bobby says, well, I know that. And he seems a little panicked, like or something. He goes, I just came by to buy a box of Arrow Girl cookies. And he starts eating the cookies. And he goes, ugh, these cookies stink. They're waxy and stale. The girls all look at Connie. And Connie says, Bobby, maybe you should go, okay? And then Bobby rides off.
That kind of hurt him.
Yeah, it did, but I mean, he was kind of being a dipshit too.
He
so.
was, but I don't know. You gotta let him make it. He had good intentions.
Now we're at the softball practice, and you hear Hank talking to Debbie and the players out on the field, and he goes, "All right, Debbie, fire one in there. Let's see what Joe Jack's got." Everybody's in their Strickland uniforms, and the ball, Joe Jack knocks it into center field. Joe Jack says, "Get out of here, baby." And then you've got the two outfielders running for it. They're both like, I got it. And then neither one of them gets it.
Yeah, which I really was hoping they would have the trope where they slam
They
into each
bonk
other.
into
Yeah,
each
that
other.
would've been
Yeah.
funnier.
Hank says, all right, somebody pick up the dang ball. You hear Dale, who comes up to bat. He's got a cigarette. He's got his eye paint. He's got his reflective glasses on. He's ready to go. Back it up, fellas. I'm going deep. And then, of course, he just bunts. And then he thinks that's the funniest thing
that's the
because he
funniest thing,
faked
yeah,
everybody out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the purpose of a bunt is you get up there and you look like you're about to,
Sure. Yeah.
knock it at Barry Bonds the ball all the way across the back fence, and then
It's
boom.
great unless you do it every single time, which
you
is
can't
what
do it
we
all the
find
time.
out that Dale does.
yeah, and then he says, what did he say? Something about the two. Did you see those two bunts?
Yeah.
Nobody says that at the end of
No.
a baseball game.
No.
Hey man, did you see those two bunts I got in?
So Buck says, I got it, Hank. Give me a boost off his dang old stool, would you? Dale runs past first. He misses him there. He starts chasing him down. He's chasing him through second and all that. He goes, oh, I'm going to get that sumbitch. And then he kind of has an infarction, and Dale's looking over at third, and And then he finally gets him, but Buck goes down. And Hank's like, oh, my God, Mr. Strickland. He runs over there. Several of the people run over to Buck, and Dale just jumps over him and runs right to third.
Yep.
So nice job, Dale.
Done with it.
Now we're at the Hill House in the kitchen, and Hank is talking about practice and stuff. He goes, my offer's still open. We could really use a good pitcher, I tell you what, because if you can pitch as good as you make cookies, because he's standing there and he's eating a cookie, in the kitchen with Bobby and Peggy. Peggy goes, my answer is still no, and Bobby baked them. He's like, what? Bobby says, I use double the butter. Aren't they great? Better than an Arrow Girl cookies.
He's got a pink apron on.
Oh, yeah.
Just to set the joke up that's coming up.
Absolutely. Hank says, oh, God, you didn't join the Arrow Girls, did you? He goes, nope, never will. But I will sell more cookies than troop number 159.
Well, I don't understand why he would say that. He knows he's a part of the
Straight Arrow?
The Straight Arrow,
I don't know, man. He goes, no, and I never will, but I will sell more cookies than troop number 159, Connie Susanusenphone's secretary-treasurer. Hank says, well, just don't wear the apron outside of the house, okay, please?
Their love is a very competitive love.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
There's always a lot of, like...
Well, look at their families.
Yeah, well, at first, it was the filka fish, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was the lutefisk.
The filter fish.
It was the lutefisk thing where she wanted... Or no, it was the gout. It was the gout episode. That whole debacle where she walks in and sees him eating it. She's like, why would you continue to do this to yourself?
Yeah. The chicken liver out of a bucket.
And now it's cookies.
So he just tells him, please don't wear that
chicken liver out of a bucket.
That's pretty much what it was, yeah.
Oh, I know. It's just disgusting to think about. I mean, I like liver and patés and stuff like that.
I'm not a liver fan.
But I just couldn't imagine eating it raw with a spoon. Like, it's good with a cheese or a cracker and cheese, but just pate by itself is just, that's nasty.
I don't need any liver. I like them gizzards, but I don't like that liver.
Oh, you like gizzards?
Oh, love them gizzards.
Like deep fried.
Super chewy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so we're back at the practice, and Peggy says, okay, Hank, I drove you here and I helped you carry the bats. They seem light enough for one person, but what's done is done. So she's dropping Hank off at practice.
Yeah.
Hank says, yeah, well, as long as you're here, maybe you could give Debbie some pointers on pitching. Here, I brought your mitt. And he kisses her on the cheek. She comes up and kisses him on the cheek and goes, goodbye, honey. I mean, she just doesn't want anything to do with this at all.
I think that's real funny how she turned him down there.
So Peggy is walking away, and she's passing the bleachers.
And before you set the scene up, so this is one of the things that I like about Peggy is that if you ever challenge, what a woman can or can't do.
Well, not only
she'll do
that,
whatever it takes to prove you wrong in doing that.
Yeah, she'll do it for that. She'll do it if somebody tries to disrespect Hank or Bobby. So those are the three things that'll really pop her into gear.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So she's passing by the bleachers, and Thatherton is up there with the football coach. What's his name? Wasn't it the football coach?
Oh, in the bleachers.
Yeah.
Oh, he was sitting there with
Coach.
Are you talking about the? Was it the original coach?
He's there with the coach that talks like this. He's he's like, oh,
man, what's his name?
So
I can't remember. I can't remember who he is.
You overhear Thatherton say, "Now I know what stinks so bad. Strickland's pitching." And the coach says, "Oh, what can he do? The league requires a woman pitcher, and like I tell my gym class, girls can't play sports." Wow. He just tells all his gym classes that girls can't play sports.
Yeah.
That's great. Thatherton says, "At least I found one that can get over the plate, if you know what I mean. I'm having sex with her." What a turd.
It's funny how he has to say it.
Yeah.
Like he was hinting at it.
If you know what I mean. I'm having sex with her.
I'm having sex with her. Like, yeah, we got what you meant.
They both, like a couple of creeps, just start laughing, and then the coach says, "She's no good at sports, right?" Like he just didn't get it at first.
Yes.
Thank God he said it. Peggy gets really pissed. And she marches out to the field and pitches. She goes, "Oh, Thatherton," and she goes out there and goes, "Oh yeah." She hurts poor Enrique's hand, number one, because he tries to catch it. And she goes, "I am saving my good stuff for our first game." So Peggy is on the team now. We are at the first game. And we start with the Star-Spangled Banner. The Star-Spangled Banner being Jesus Christ, being played on the flugelhorn And he starts with the Star Spangled Banner, then it goes into Feels So Good. And so now we know it's Chuck Mangione before we even see him. And then he goes back into Feels So Good and then back into Star Spangled Banner, and it's over. The announcer is like, "Oh, 1 up, 1 down, a strikeout for Peggy Hill." It is. I
like the announcer.
It's the guy who does Dale's voice.
Hill.
I mean, it's the guy who does Dale.
Yeah,
you can tell.
It's,
but
Hardwick.
yeah,
Yeah,
Johnny Hardwick. Yeah.
I really want to see his stand-up. He's got to have something somewhere.
yeah.
Because I know that's what he was.
Well,
first.
he's got all that stuff where he plays the piano and all those things.
I haven't. I need to go back and watch a lot of that. I haven't seen any. I've seen the bits and pieces of it when I was trying to acquire him for the show.
Yeah.
But he's just so absent from social media and stuff. Is really.
Yeah. Bill is in the stand. He stands up and cheers, and then sits down in some nachos as this game goes on. Boomhauer is the umpire, so he's back behind the plate. She sets one down by striking him out, and Hank's like, "Yeah, Peggy." And you hear 15th strikeout for Peggy Hill, and your winner is the Strickland Bobtails. Hank's like, "Yeah, all right. And then he thinks that these guys are going to come over and dump the big Gatorade thing on him, and they just go right past him and dump it on Peggy. And she's like, "Woo!" He says, "This team didn't coach itself." And Dale comes up and he says, "He's right. Nice, Hank. Nice job, Hank." And then just dumps his cup of Gatorade right in his face. And that is a commercial break for them, and that is a commercial break for us. And we will be
right back.
Right back. Looking for a great haircut or shave experience? Come to Champion Salon and Barber. Our skilled barbers and stylists are dedicated to giving you the best service possible. Whether you need a simple haircut or a complete grooming package, we have you covered. And while you're here, feel free to enjoy a complimentary beer and chat with our friendly staff. We have 2 convenient locations in Waco and Woodway, Texas. You can also book appointments online or through our app, making it easy to schedule your next visit. So why wait? Visit Champion Salon and Barber today and experience a cut above the rest. Rusty, I love smoothies.
Oh.
That's all. No. But I don't love smoothie bar prices. I have a BlendJet 2 portable blender, and I can make smoothie bar quality beverages for a fraction of the price. My bulky blender was such a pain to use, I ended up hardly ever using it at all. But the BlendJet 2 portable blender makes blending so easy and convenient, I use it just about every day. Yeah, that's right. I do.
Well, I use it every day too. Before I had a BlendJet 2, I was still using a blender that I had gotten at the local thrift store for $1 or so, and it was one from the 70s.
Sure.
As powerful as it was, it just wasn't portable.
Those suckers are powerful, but they are heavy.
It was heavy.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. It wasn't portable, and I have got a 12-year-old who just loves.
He loves to make the smoothies,
and he likes the ice cream.
Yeah.
Shakes and things like that. It's great
for me, like eating healthy used to be a struggle, but that was before I discovered the BlendJet 2 portable blender. Now, when fast food temptation strikes, I just blend up a delicious and nutritious protein shaker smoothie. Face it, shaker bottles suck. Your protein shakes always come out clumpy and you look like an idiot using the thing. That's why I decided to ditch my shaker bottle for good and get myself a BlendJet 2 portable blender. It makes perfectly blended protein shakes in just 20 seconds. So let's go over these points here. The BlendJet 2 is portable, so you can blend up a smoothie at work, a protein shake at the gym, or even a margarita on the beach. You like a good margarita on the beach, right?
I like a beach.
It's small enough to fit in a cup holder, but powerful enough to blast through tough ingredients like ice, frozen fruit, frozen fruit with ease. BlendJet 2 is whisper quiet, so you can make your morning smoothie without waking up the whole house. It lasts for 15 plus blends, and recharges quickly via USB-C. Best of all, BlendJet 2 cleans itself. Just put a little water and a drop of soap in there, and you're good to go. That is kind of nice to be able to just clean it like that. There's over 30 colors and patterns to choose from. There is a BlendJet 2 to complement just about any style. I, for one, have the black one. It's, I don't know, it blends in with my seat covers. I don't know. But it looks cool.
BlendJet 2, the return of BlendJet.
So what are you waiting for? Go to blendjet.com and grab yours today, and be sure to use the promo code
BWAAA12.
and that will get you 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. No other portable blender on the market comes close to the quality, power, and innovation of the BlendJet 2. They guarantee you'll love it or your money back. Blend anytime, anywhere with BlendJet 2 portable blender. Go to blendjet.com and use the code
BWAAA12
to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. Shop today and get the best deal ever. Hey, Rusty, did you know that you could be putting oils and chemicals in your coffee?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I love coffee creamer, but I don't think I've ever turned the bottle around to actually see what's inside. You know, when I did, I found many of my favorite creamers contain ingredients that I would never intentionally add to my coffee cup, like canola oil, dipotassium phosphate. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading the back of this bottle. And artificial flavors. I don't want that. That's gross.
Anything artificial.
No. You know, I absolutely love coffee, and I have been upping my coffee game now to an entirely new coffee experience. Laird Superfoods has better ingredients, amazing taste, and functional benefits. Laird Superfood creamers are created from the highest quality, all-natural, real food ingredients. All Laird products are sustainably sourced and thoroughly tested to ensure that you're incorporating the cleanest, finest fuel into your routine. All natural. Whole food ingredients, not that unnatural crap. It contains naturally occurring MCTs from coconut oil, no artificial flavors, colors, or additives. You know, you could just take one thing you do every day and make it a little better. No sugar from highly refined corn syrup. Did you know that this Laird is an actual guy? Laird Superfoods means Laird is a real guy.
Oh, wow.
It says
Laird.
Yeah, it says Laird Superfood all started when big wave surfer Laird Hamilton, no relation, needed morning fuel that could allow him to spend the entire day chasing the ultimate wave. He couldn't find anything in the market that met his ingredient standards, so he made himself the ultimate plant-based creamer. Laird Superfood started and launched its first product, Original Superfood Creamer, in 2015. Laird started experimenting with his morning ritual almost 2 decades ago. He found that when he started adding fats to his morning coffee, like coconut oil, he had amazing energy throughout the rest of the day. He gradually perfected his recipe for an epic cup of fuel and began sharing it with his friends in the surf community. Laird sources high-quality plant-based ingredients globally and puts an emphasis on U.S. sources whenever possible. They aim to source responsibly and sustainably and believe that the foods you consume should be as good for the earth as they are for you. Honest and transparent product labels on this stuff. It tells you exactly what's in it and what it's going to do to you and how much taller you'll grow. So you can go to lairdsuperfood.com and enter the offer code
BWAAA
to get the best deal ever with Laird Superfood.
Laird Superfood.
Laird, catch the big wave. Hey there, fellow puzzle enthusiasts. Did you know that we're all puzzle enthusiasts?
Puzzle enthusiasts.
You know what's
Quite
worse?
puzzling to have this many puzzle enthusiasts in one place.
You know what's worse than stepping on a Lego? Crappy cardboard jigsaw puzzles. Boy, if I have said that once, I've said it 1,000,000 times.
I've said it 10 million times.
That's why I am excited to tell you about Wongo puzzles. These things are the real deal, folks. Each puzzle is a masterpiece cut out of real wood with stunning designs and unique shapes that will challenge and delight you. And they come with all the pieces.
All the pieces.
Guaranteed. I mean, that doesn't seem like an option for a puzzle, does it? I mean, does some of them come with not all the pieces? Is that a thing these days?
It is a thing. If you thrift store your puzzles. My favorite puzzle is a thrift store puzzle.
So these puzzles are 100% wooden, which that's cool. I mean, that makes a really nice puzzle. And they'll probably last forever. Each piece is hand-drawn. Think about that for a second. Each piece is hand-drawn, so no two pieces are the same, and you'll discover some fun whimsy pieces as you work through it. So, like, I was talking to Caroline from Bloody Happy Hour, and she said she's put one together before that had, like, a little dolphin and a frog and things like that amongst the other pieces.
It's beautiful.
They come in a custom wooden box, which is perfect for storage and gifting. With stunning designs and unique shapes, Wongo puzzles are cut above the rest. I love doing the snow globe puzzle myself. It was great to pull out a puzzle and be done in a night and not have it on the table for a week. My wife gets on to me all the time for all the puzzles I leave laying around.
Hundreds of them.
Boy, I'm telling you. So what are you waiting for? Go to wongopuzzles.com and pick your puzzle today, and be sure to use the promo code
BWAAA
to get 10% off your order. This is the most fun you've had with a puzzle guaranteed, or your money back. Go to WONGOpuzzles.com and use the code
BWAAA
to get 10% off your order and get puzzling right now.
right now.
Right now, boys. Hey, Rusty,
Hey, Mike.
did you know that dehydration is the leading cause of daytime fatigue?
Yes.
I did not know that. My wife always tries to get me to drink more water, and I don't know why.
You know what's sad?
'Cause I don't like water.
I know it, but I don't drink enough water. That way, I'm combating fatigue on a daily basis.
Yeah. Are you?
It's a war. It's not even combat anymore. We're full blown
It's hand
like
to hand at
nuclear
this point.
war. Yeah.
I was shocked to learn that even mild dehydration can cause headaches, muscle weakness, and brain fog. Boy, that is my problem, I guess.
Yeah.
But luckily, there's a solution to this. It's Cure Hydration.
Wow, sounds wonderful. I need a cure.
So Cure Hydration is an oral rehydration solution, or an ORS, that contains the perfect balance of electrolytes and glucose to help your body absorb water and rehydrate quickly. The formula is made with all natural ingredients like coconut water powder and pink Himalayan salt. That's what those lamps are made out of, right? That people lick, those pink salt lamps.
I think so.
And it's also free from artificial flavors, sweeteners, and preservatives. Cure Hydration is vegan, gluten-free, and non-GMO, or GMO, making it a great option for anyone with dietary restrictions or preferences. These packets are convenient and easy to use. Just mix with water and drink. They're perfect for the on-the-go, travel, or anytime you need a quick, effective hydration boost. Hydration is more than just drinking water. That's what Lauren Picasso, a lifelong endurance athlete, discovered as she struggled to stay hydrated no matter how much water she drank. Lauren founded Cure, a science-backed electrolyte drink mix to make hydration easy for everyone. Driven by a desire to offer a better alternative than sugar-laden sport drinks, Lauren collaborated with medical experts to develop a plant-based, vegan, and no-sugar-added electrolyte powder that hydrates as effectively as an IV drip. Good Lord.
Oh, wow.
Since it is an ORS, or oral rehydration solution, the product is designed to provide a healthier and more natural hydration solution for athletes, travelers, and busy individuals who are constantly on the go. Today, Cure is on a mission to help people stay hydrated and feel their best without compromising on quality, taste, or sustainability. Cure believes that hydration should be simple and effective, but also clean and natural. That's why they use only the highest quality plant-based ingredients and avoid any artificial or harmful additives. They're committed to transparency and honesty. All of their ingredients are clearly listed on their website and packaging, and they're always happy to answer any questions or concerns. Ready to combat dehydration? Try Cure today and feel the difference for yourself. Use your code
BWAAA
for 20% off your order. Again, that is code
BWAAA
for 20% off your order. Stop being dehydrated.
now.
All right, so we are back from break. Boy, those ads were delightful. Those two guys really know how to sell a blender. So we hear, this is Dale talking about, they are at Smiley's Ice Cream and Pizza Parlor, by the way, which we, I believe, thought it was Shoney's maybe, or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Shoney's maybe.
But Dale is like, oh, man, did you see that second bunt I laid down? No, Dale, nobody gives a shit about your
we're
bunts.
just talking about that. The
Joe
bunts.
Jack says, they threw you out about 20 feet, you sweet gazelle, which I thought was very funny. Hank gets up on the chair and does all right, quiet down, team. I'd like to say a few words as coach. That was a good team effort out there, everybody. Joe Jack, you yourself got a couple of RBIs. Nice going. Enrique, dynamite job of catching. You see Enrique, he's got his hand in the ice pitcher because of Peggy. Enrique says, aren't you forgetting about someone, Coach? He goes, all right. I might be a little biased, but I did coach one heck of a game, I'll tell you what. Hank, that kind of sucks, but
that
okay.
does suck.
He says, so thank you and enjoy your pizza. He gets down and you see Peggy's face and she is pissed. Once again, we have pissed Peggy.
Pissed Peggy.
We are back at the Hill House, and this is Luann and Bobby. Luann says, and not one of my beauty school credits is transferred to junior college. It turns out you have to get at least a C. And Bobby says, never hurts to quit. I'm hungry. Where's Dad?
Yeah, where's Dad?
Never hurts to quit.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have this long, drawn-out, 45-minute conversation about something, so he just kind of nipped it in the bud.
We're in the kitchen, and Peggy's there, and Peggy goes, he's probably busy patting himself on the back for giving birth to you. Hank comes in through the sliding. Yeah, Peggy's pissed off. Hank comes in through the sliding door in the kitchen there, and he goes, morning. Time to flip them. And he looks at the pancakes that Peggy's been cooking, and he goes with a spatula to try to flip these suckers. And she goes, no, they're not ready yet. He goes, they're brown around the edges, Peggy. Don't burn them. She goes, Hank, I've been flipping flapjacks for 32 years. He goes, well, it's never too late to learn how to do it right.
Too late to learn.
So they both have spatulas, and they're fighting over who's going to flip the damn pancakes. He goes, here, let me show you. She goes, there's nothing you can show me. And then Bobby from the back, of course, being the voice of reason, says, please be careful with the pancakes.
Yeah, you can't mess up the pancakes.
That's all he's
for
worried
sure.
about.
I don't understand why you have square waffles, but you can't have square pancakes.
Well, you can.
Yeah, but nobody.
Just much harder
standard.
to make.
Yeah.
I bet Dave Thomas could have made one.
Yeah, he could have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He probably did have one.
Probably so.
I think that's what I like to think is that when you went to Dave Thomas's house, every object that could possibly be
was square.
Was square.
Do you ever remember the salad bar from Wendy's?
The Wendy's salad bar. Yeah. Actually, I do remember the Wendy's salad bar. Yeah. They used to have a salad bar.
So they used to have this huge salad bar in Wendy's with a giant sneeze guard on it, and in the salad bar was salad and all the macaroni salad and all the crap that goes with that. But then they used to have spaghetti on the salad bar, like spaghetti and red sauce.
Are you fucking serious?
No, seriously, yeah. And
No,
it was, and they had baked potatoes. That's where they had the baked potatoes out there on like a steam table. It was pretty gross. And now on the other side of COVID, you really think, oh my God, I would never eat out of that.
How gross it was. Yeah, it was disgusting.
We're back in front of the pink and white. And Bobby has now set up a table. He looks like a little missionary over there at his table. He's got the white shirt and the tie. He goes, don't buy inferior Arrow's Girl cookies, because he's like right down the way from the Arrow girls who are set up to sell their cookies. He goes, what are they offering? Oatmeal? That's for breakfast. Mints? What are you, 60? And dog poop? What kind of flavor is that for a cookie?
Yeah.
He goes, oop, my mistake. That's their peanut butter. The Arrowhead girls, or the Arrow girls, come over to Bobby's table, and he goes, hello, ladies. And Connie's like, Bobby, what are you doing? He goes, I'm trying to restore the good name of cookies. Here, taste. And he hands Connie a cookie. The other girl grabs it, and she goes, ew, this tastes like mud. He goes, what? That's a lie. You take that back. Taste it, Connie. She's one of the Arrow girls goes, don't do it. Don't let him make you eat mud. And Connie says, this isn't funny, Bobby. And Bobby's like, Connie, wait, there's nothing wrong with Bobby's cookies. Look at me. I'm eating them. And he's shoving a whole bunch of them in his mouth. And he goes, they've gotten your head all turned around. Just keeps on eating cookies. Yeah, he likes his own cookies.
He loves his own cookies.
Getting eye on his own supply.
Butter. It's
yeah,
the double
that's
butter.
right.
Gotta let her know that he's her candy man.
That's so gross.
I'm your candy man.
Yeah,
This is a prelude.
selling
Please stand
lollipops. All right, so we are at the practice, and apparently the Strickland team has been practicing for a little while, and Peggy finally rolls up, and she goes, sorry I'm late. That's what I get for picking the most popular gynecologist in Arlen.
Yeah.
Hank says, well, try not to let it happen again. I can't let the players think I'm going to give you special treatment because you're my wife. She goes, the best? He says, no, my wife. He says, good afternoon, Luann. She goes, hey, Uncle Hank. He goes, run along now. Which is so condescending to Luann.
Super condescending.
Peggy says, Hank, Luann has been my catcher for the last 2 seasons. I need her behind the plate. Enrique is a nice man, but he has got a porcelain hand. I'm afraid to throw at full speed. Hank says, look, the roster's already set, and we already have 3 women on this team. That's rough too, Hank. Buck says, did I hear you right? You said you wanted to replace our catcher Enrique with this little filly? Talking about Luann.
Talking about Luann, yeah, of course he's going to let her play.
And Peggy says, Luann has a lot of experience catching me. Hank says, but I told her, sir, that we don't have any room. Buck is not listening to that because all he sees is Luann.
All he sees is a woman.
Enrique, you're fired. And then Enrique says something in Spanish back to him. He goes, just kidding. Hank, stick him somewhere. Peggy looks very satisfied in herself at this point. We are at an actual game now with Peggy pitching.
Yep.
We see all the signs going back and forth between the coach and the pitcher and the catcher. And Peggy throws and strike 3. Put up another K for Peggy Hill. And we see
she's
them
doing
putting those
good,
Ks over the side, you know.
What is the K about?
So it's a strike. Yeah,
just a
K
strike,
just stands for
okay.
strike, yeah. And Hank says, Peggy, throw it here. And she says, and the guy up in the stands goes down, what? Strike 3. And Hank's still trying to coach her.
Yeah.
But he's got nothing going here because she is not listening to him. He goes, all right, let's walk this next batter after he takes a timeout. He goes up to the mound. And he goes, if you walk this next batter, you can set up the next double play. She goes, oh, Hank, I can't strike out this lap dancer. And she goes, I can strike out this lap dancer in my sleep, Hank. He says, no. It's a good strategy. Walk this gal, pitch to the one with the ridiculous implants up next. This is because they are playing the Jug Store Cowboys. This is the third out of
Drugstore Cowboys.
Right,
That's a hell of a name.
the Jug Store
I
Cowboys.
thought you said
yes,
drugstore.
yes.
I was like,
No, these are strippers at the Jug Store.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was thinking that it was like a dairy had like a little shop outside they called
Absolutely.
the Jug Store where they
Right.
sold jugs of milk. But it's in
These are
fact
different
not
jugs,
that.
yeah.
Different jugs, different milk.
These are 4 games right in a row. You see Strickland versus Lily's Cafe. They win that one. You see Strickland versus Humpty Dumpty's, or H Dumpty's, sorry. And then this is Strickland versus the Jug Store Cowboys. We also see them play the fire department here in a second. And he says, anyway, pitch to the one with the ridiculous implants up next, and that way he's trying to get a double play out of it, right? Peggy gets there to pitch. The game starts again. Luann gives her a sign, and she shakes it off. She's like, I'm not doing what Hank said. She's going to strike this girl out. And Hank says, all right, outfield shift. And she goes, no, shift back. And she just strikes this girl out. I mean, she just, oh, yeah, whoa, and she takes her right out. She keeps striking people out. This one guy gets a hit. He starts running to first base, and Boomhauer's like, safe. Hank is getting pissed off, and Hank is pissed off for 2 reasons. One, because he doesn't think the guy is safe, but more so because Peggy's not listening to him. And so he gets right up in Boomhauer's face, and he's like, what, are you blind? It was out by 2 steps. He goes, hey, man, get out of my face, man. You haven't made a right call since this game started. This isn't about my wife. No, you go. So, I mean, he is just arguing right up to his face. And Boomhauer finally is just like, you're out of here. And he throws him out of the whole game.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That was good. I like that.
It didn't go well for
not.
Hank, especially after he told the umpire he's going to kick his ass. We're back at Hill's house, and Hank is reading the paper in the living room like he always is in his big wingback chair. Peggy comes in, and she's very cold. She's like, oh, hello, Hank. He goes, so did we win? She goes, uh-huh. He goes, how could you get me thrown out of the game? And she did not get you thrown out of the game, Hank, number one. She goes, me? What did I have to do with it? He goes, it never would have happened if you didn't shift the fielders back after I moved them. You embarrassed me as your husband. I mean, coach. She goes, Coach, if you had moved them to the right place in the first place, he said, I told you to walk that stripper. She goes, what? That was a week ago, and I always got to position players in my other league. She goes, oh, sorry, that's right. You wouldn't know that because you never came to watch me.
Never.
Hank says, well, you never watched me sell propane. You lost that one, Hank. That's not a good one. Yeah, you didn't win that one. So now we're back in the alley with all 4 guys. You see Dale. He goes, Hank, I am sick and tired of always batting last. It's not fair to me. Hank says, you're the one who won't run fast because you're afraid your hat will fall off and you'll see your bald spot. He goes, yeah. Hank says, everybody wants to be a superstar today. Nobody wants to be a team player. You know, when the coach told Mickey Mantle to take a pitch and he wasn't too hungover to see the sign, he took the pitch, I'll tell you what. Mickey Mantle was a drunk.
Mickey Mantle was a drunk for sure, yeah.
So we're
a
at
lot of those guys were drunk. So
oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
I remember watching like some old NFL. Well, I know
Smoke
NFL
cigarettes at
and
halftime.
baseball is
and all that
different,
stuff,
but
yeah.
I remember seeing them on the sidelines just sitting there drinking beer.
Mm-hmm.
Like mid-game.
Oh, yeah.
Like the game's got time on the clock. They're like,
Sure.
it's not even halftime. It's like midway through the second quarter, and they're drinking like a Falstaff on the sides.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
it had vitamin K in it. It's what kept you going. So we are now at a game again. Hank is over at the pitcher mound. They are playing. Strickland is playing the U.S. Army this time.
Okay.
And you hear the announcers say, "Now batting for the Army, William Pondane de la Tordo Tree." believe. Hank is up at the pitcher's mound talking to her, talking to Peggy, and Luann comes up because she is the catcher. He goes, I want you to throw him some chin music. Get him off the plate so he can put his so he can't put his gut into it. She goes, you don't know how to position an outfield. You don't know when to flip a pancake, and you don't know Jack Smith about pitching, so back off, coach. This is getting pretty contentious.
It is getting contentious. Like generally at this point in Texas, so this is one thing that's not really accurate in Texas writing. At this point, somebody would have there would have already been hands like flying.
Probably.
People would have already been punching each other. Once you get a little close to somebody, you can smell the alcohol in their breath in Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at this point there's probably some beer being smelled.
There's something
some
going
anger
on.
going on.
Yeah.
It was actually at my kids' soccer practice yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there just in the car, just chilling, and I look over, and sure enough, there's a guy in the parking lot with a 24-ounce beer.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
it's over there, like in the midway area, and he was just tipping back a
Finishing
beer.
that sucker
yeah,
off, huh?
finishing it off in the parking lot at his son's soccer practice.
So it is kind of the only way to get through practice.
It is, sometimes 2 hours for soccer practice, 3 times a week,
It's
2
also-
hours.
It's also soccer. So,
Oh, no, it's not that bad.
so-
I like soccer.
Peggy says, so back off, coach. Hank's like, I'm not asking you as your coach. I'm asking you as your husband. Now, they're all looking at us. And he's talking like through his teeth, because he doesn't want anybody to know that they're having an argument. She goes, well, I am not your wife. I mean, well, I am. But on the field, I am. He goes, I love you. And you just see this pissed face on Peggy. But she does start to throw again. She's ready to get back into the game. She's ready to start pitching. And she's like, oh, yeah. And she hits Bill hard with the ball.
Hits him with the ball, like total knockout.
He goes down to the
Yeah.
ground. He tries to get back up. Then he goes down again. A couple people come over and have to literally drag him off. And so instead of him staying in the game, somebody else has to go to first base for him. And this is now, we get kind of a montage here of Peggy throwing terrible, terrible pitches. She hits Bill. She hits the backdrop. She hits over him. I mean, she is trying really hard here, but she is throwing her pitches all over the place.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, Peggy, I get the message. Now put it over the plate. And, I mean, she chunks it everywhere. She goes, I'm trying, Hank. I really am. She's throwing pitches all over people's heads. She throws one that goes so far that it bounces over and hits Bobby's cookies, scares the crap out of Bobby. And then she hits Bill with the ball on the sideline again. I mean, poor Bill. He just keeps getting hit.
Yeah, he's getting beat up. Old Bill is.
He's like, Peggy. And then,
ow!
And he just gets hit again. Dale thinks it's very funny, though. We're at the Hill House now, and Luann is seen over there putting on her catching gear. Peggy looks awful. I mean, you can tell they're out there trying to practice to get Peggy's head back in the game or something. Hank says, there's nothing wrong with you. Good coaching can't fix. Bobby, come on in here, son. Bobby comes out, and he's wrapped in bubble wrap, and he's got a football helmet on.
Yeah.
So he just wobbles up to the plate, and he goes up there, and he's like grunting to get up there, and finally he makes it. Hank says, all right, play ball. She throws so bad that she hits the fence. She goes, I can't find the plate anymore. Without my pitching, what am I? I'm just one more four-eyed boggle champion. Hank trying to calm the thing down. He's like, okay, here's your problem. You need to tuck in your elbow and release earlier in your windmill. She's like, really? Are you sure? He goes, I don't think. Thinking leads to overcoaching. Just listen to your coach. He gives her the ball, and she chunks it over the fence as fast as she can. She's trying to throw this great pitch, but she chunks it right over the fence. And on the other side, you hear Khan go, oh, my God, you killed men. Not really. But you do suck, Peggy Hill.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Oh, my God, you killed men.
Hell of a character.
So we're still at the Hill House, but now it's nighttime. Hank is in bed. He's sleeping. He rolls over, and there's no Peggy there.
No Peggy.
But you hear out... You hear outside, just oof, oof, oh yeah. She's outside pitching against a mattress. She's got her curlers and her nightgown on. Hank is really proud of her. He's looking at her just through the sliding glass door, and so he knows that she's trying to get her mojo back. We're back. It's the next morning, We're at the Hill House. We're in the kitchen. Bobby has made a butt ton of cookies, and he is emptying them into paper bags. I'm assuming he's taking them with him to try to sell again. Hank
Probably
says,
so, yeah.
Yeah, Hank says, we're playing Thatherton's team today, Luann. Be careful. He'll try every trick in the book to mess with the catcher, including the use of off-color language. And Bobby just goes, Thatherton! Like he's just so disapproving. Peggy says, Luann, while the rest of Arlen was sleeping, I was out in the yard throwing strikes, and it's safe to say the pitch is back. Oh, Peggy. I guess the bitch is back.
It. Yeah,
right?
the bitch is
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Isn't that
Elton John?
Elton John, yeah. The bitch is back.
Hank says, I bet you were tucking that elbow in, huh? Just like I told you. And he looks really sheepish. Now we're at the Strickland versus Thatherton game. You hear Boomhauer go, tell you what, man, I'll play some dangle ball.
Talking about that dang old ball.
Hank says, here we go, Peggy. Keep tucking that elbow in. She hits the batter again. Boomhauer's like, dang, take your base. And as the batter is starting to take the base, this lady starts charging the mound. Luann's like, Aunt Peggy, watch out. And then she literally tackles her. Boomhauer has to split the two up. You see Bobby over there saying, who's ready to take the cookie challenge? On the left, Bobby's cookies, fresh and buttery.
Challenge.
On the right, Arrow Girl cookies, foul and musty. That's a little rough, Bobby. I mean, you're putting a little much on it there.
Well, and I'll level with Bobby on that. I've eaten plenty of Girl Scout cookies, and I'm going to let you know, with this woke media, they have gotten worse. The cookies used to be a lot sweeter.
Yeah.
They used to
They're foul and
have
musty.
changed. They have changed their ingredients, whether they say they have or not. As somebody who is, at M&M's, I was a certified taste tester for chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, I actually had to take a course.
You had to eat it before
where
the king
you had
did?
to learn. Well, no, you have to learn like how chocolate is
Yeah,
supposed to taste,
yeah,
or how the
sure.
peanuts are supposed to taste
Wow.
when you work on the line. Because if something goes wrong,
Yeah.
I have to be able to taste it
Yeah.
and know that the peanuts are burnt or
Yeah.
the chocolate's
Never really
cooked
thought
wrong,
about that,
so-
like the peanuts being burnt. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, because if they're burnt, you got to throw all that away because it completely changes the entire taste.
Sure. But Bobby is set up at that table, and here come the Arrow Girls. One of them says, Bobby Hill, you have mocked your last Arrow Girl cookie. And the Arrow Girls are pissed. Like the whole troop is there. One of the girls has a freaking bat and takes it to Bobby's table. The rest of them are wrestling Bobby. I mean, they're stomping on the cookies. They're stomping on Bobby. I mean, they want to take Bobby out.
Yeah,
at
they're
this
not
point.
happy.
Connie comes from the side. She goes, oh, no, wait, what are you doing? And Bobby's like, Connie, help save the cookies. And then that's when that girl says no and just stomps on the cookies and Bobby. So the girl says, we're getting rid of the mud cookies. Connie, smash them. And Connie actually takes the time to try one of the cookies. She goes, hey, these are great. They don't taste like mud. They taste like butter. Bobby on the ground with one of the girls sitting on him goes, double the butter. She goes, you lied to me. My boyfriend is a cookie genius. And he goes, yeah, I'm a cookie boyfriend?
Boyfriend?
So,
Yeah, he didn't
this
catch
is the
it
first
first.
time.
Yeah. He likes that.
It's pretty sweet,
I think he kind of likes
honestly.
it too.
Yeah. We're still at the game. We hear the announcers say, going, gone. Hank hit a home run. And as he's running by Thatherton on first base, he goes, how you fix for propane, Thatherton? Then we hear the announcer say, there's a double off the fence, and Thatherton takes the lead. It's the bottom of the seventh and final inning. Peggy is pretty pissed. She throws her hat
pissed.
down. He said the announcer's like, 2 outs, runners on first and second, Strickland up only by a run. Thatherton is over on first. It is currently Strickland 11, Thatherton 10 is what it said on the board, but the announcer just said that Strickland's only up by a run. So Thatherton's on first, and he goes, hey, Hank, your wife seems to have lost her stuff. Maybe it's the presence of a real man on the field. That's shitty, Thatherton. I would punch you in the face if you said that.
Yeah,
that sucks.
That's really shitty.
Hank says, no, it's not. Tuck that elbow in, Peggy. Square your hips. Drive off the rubber concurrent with your release plane. Concurrent, I said.
Concurrent. Whatever that
Peggy,
means.
Peggy looks pretty worried. She pitches, and she hits the batter. So that means that the next batter is coming up now, and it is now Kurt Bwaaa. The announcer says the bases are juiced. Next up, former Texas Ranger Kurt Bwaaa. You hear Buck say, time out there, ump. He goes out and he goes, God dang it, Hank Thatherton's got more people on the bases than he does on his own payroll.
I like that one. That was good.
And he's getting all worked up, and he's like, he's got anything. And his heart starts hurting again.
I'm getting an infarction.
He goes, your gal's broke, Hank. She's broke. Find a way to fix her. You're her husband. Hank says, husband? What does that have to do with? He looks at Peggy. He goes to the mound, and he goes, I got to make a change, Peggy. And you think that, like, this is the time when you change pitchers, you know, in the game, because pitchers do run out of pitches. I mean, that's just the way it works,
Yeah,
right?
no, for sure.
And so Peggy is like, I'm sorry. I thought I had it worked out. Debbie comes over to the mound. Hank looks at Debbie and goes, Debbie, you're playing first base, and you strike this ringer out.
You got a ringer on out.
Yep. He says, strike this ringer out, referring to Kurt Bwaaa. Hank goes to the bench, sits right next to Bobby, and Bobby says, what are you doing, Dad? He goes, I'm making the best coaching decision I ever made. I'm taking myself out of the game so I can watch your mom pitch.
Yeah, so that's what it is
Yeah.
he's never sat and ever watched her play.
That's it. Yeah, and he's finally doing that. And you see this real determined Peggy come out, and she throws a strike. Boomhauer from behind the plate. Hey, man, you dang old hook me up with some of them Ranger tickets, man. Oh, strike one. And so he's asking Bwaaa if he can get free tickets out of it. You hear strike two. You hear Hank cheering on Peggy. Come on, Peggy, one more time. Bobby says, you can do it, Mom. And then you see Bobby and Connie finally hold hands.
Yeah,
so this
yeah,
is
finally.
like the impetus that, you know, starts this relationship,
Yeah.
really. Buck is on the side. Take him down, Ace. She throws it, and she's like, oh, yeah. And so she does. She strikes him out, or he hits the ball. She comes very close to striking him out. He hits the last one really, really high. It goes into the field, and the only person not paying any attention is Dale.
That's it.
He finally sees
and this
it.
is where he clutches it up. Yeah.
He finally sees it and starts tearing ass towards the fence. The ball is obviously going over the fence.
Going high up over the fence.
His glove falls off as he's going over, so he pulls his hat off with his big bald spot, and he sticks it out, and he catches the ball.
Yep.
Dale ends up being the hero here.
With the baseball cap.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Caught it in his baseball hat. Yep. And so, yeah, it is. I think you can catch it with whatever, as long as you catch it. Yeah.
Yeah,
as
you
long
just
as
got to
doesn't
catch
hit
it, I
hit
believe.
the ground. Yeah.
But you don't want to catch one of those with your hand because I've seen people break their hands catching
Oh, heck yeah.
catching just a bare ball with their hand, playing around.
He catches it, and you hear "whoa" coming from Peggy, and then the announcer's like, "Team Strickland wins." Hank comes out, "All right, you did it, Peggy," and he hoists Peggy up and spins her around. She's like, "Oh, Hank, you're the world's greatest coach," so everything's fine.
Everything's good.
They get Gatorade dumped on both of them, which is nice, I guess. All I can think of is they're sticky and they have to drive home.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. They're going to be covered in it now. Yeah.
But they're walking away, and Hank's got his arm on her shoulder, which you never really see. You never see that
you
PDA.
never see that. No,
yeah,
you never see that.
He goes, "Of course, if Dale hadn't made that catch, it would have been a home run." She says, "Oh, please, we both know that Kurt Bwaaa corks his bat. He always has and always will." He goes, "Peggy, he's using an aluminum bat." She goes, "I didn't say he was a smart man, Hank. I said he was a cheater." That's a great way to end right there.
That's a really good joke.
We get our credits, and then after the credits, we hear, "Tell you what, old man, let's play some dang old ball."
Play some ball.
And that is it, man. That is season
That
3,
is it.
episode
Yeah,
24.
season 3,
Take me
episode
out of the ball game.
24.
One more in this season. That's amazing. So what is
It's
this?
crazy that we made that
5,000
far.
episodes we've done? Is that about right?
We're at probably like 100 in between 100 and 110, somewhere
Wow.
around there, I think.
It's a lot of
The
episodes.
last I looked, we might even be more than that. And guys, think about that. That's like 2 years worth of episodes
Yep.
we've done
That's right.
in less than 2 years. By the time we're done at our 2-year mark, we'll have almost 3 years of content.
Yeah, we've done a lot, and we want to thank each and every one of you for being here because without you guys, we wouldn't still be doing this. And please go check out our sponsors. Check out any of the stuff that we read off here. That really helps us quite a bit. Also, why don't you tell them where they can find us? So if they want to send us a message or just a attaboy or whatever, that'd be wonderful.
You can email us at bwaaakoth@gmail.com, or you can find us on Linktree at linktr.ee/bwaaakoth. We're active on all social medias. I haven't been as active as I'd like to be, so if you're somebody who likes to be active on social media and wants to apply to be an intern for that, send us an email, because as much as I like doing it, it's definitely going to be really, really difficult to do now that I'm producing another show as well. So,
that's right. So tell us about your other show. What's it called?
Well, it's called The Animation Conversation. So somehow I weaseled, worked out a deal, with a actual animation guy that works in the industry named John Fountain, otherwise known as F.
John Fountain.
That's what we call him on the show there, F. And so
that's
it's just
what
me
he
and
likes
him.
to be called, right?
That is his nickname. That's what he likes to be called. So we're doing animation conversation where we're just discussing the animation industry. He's discussing what he's got going on, and then he's going to bring in some guests for us and stuff like that, which we'll be recording our first guest soon. And so you guys be on the lookout for some stuff on that. And as soon as everything is released, I'll do an announcement on this show as well. That way you guys can go give me some support and check that show out. I'm just going to give you a hint of our first guest. Two stupid
Kurt
dogs.
Bwaaa. Oh.
Two stupid dogs, and that's all I'm going to say.
Wow. Okay.
That's it, yeah.
Or teenagers.
Yeah.
Two
or
stupid
that.
dog teenagers. Sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, if you want to check out that show or any others, please go to roguemedianetwork.com. Check out all our new shows. We've got several new ones that are launching, and
Some good stuff,
and
too.
help support the ones that are there. We really appreciate
Who is that
it.
I was just listening to sitting in here? It was a book, and they were talking about sex.
That was Bustles and Bangers.
Oh, Bustles and Bangers.
They are kind of an alt-married couple that go through trashy romance novels and make fun of them. Yeah, it's very good stuff.
There you go.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you again next time.
Women's-Tanya.
Tanya, indeed. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.